Imagine coming back with this newfound truth and try to convince these other two people who haven't seen it what you saw. They probably think that you're crazy.
Essentially the Matrix.
Right.
Are you blue-pilled? Is what's right here the truth? Or do you believe that there's more than the shadows?
When people think of these ideas for things like the Matrix, I'm like, how the did that come to you? Like, are you just that creative, or did you have a conversation with an alien that could have been the person that created the simulation, and they try to sell it to the world and give it to people in a way that's easily digestible like a movie? You figured it out. This black pill theory, I had never heard about this before.
Yeah, I mean, black pill, it's fringe stuff, right? And I say fringe directly because I think that incels are fringe. I have a huge problem
Fringe,
with the-
F-R-I.
Yeah,
I thought you said French. I was like, yeah, them and their baguettes.
Oh, I'll tell you what. You want a little fun fact, my guy?
Tarts.
You said French.
Yeah.
You know, at the very beginning when Neo gets the thing on the screen, it says "Follow the White Rabbit," and the people show up at his house.
Yeah.
The two people who show up at his house, their names are Choix and de jour. And choix de jour in French means choice of the day. So right there in that frame of
That's
the door,
what the I'm talking about,
right?
man.
Come on now.
1999, still learning about this movie. Come on, man. That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? So
thank
neat.
you for sharing that, bro.
Yeah.
That was, they be in a bag. Shout out to all the writers, man. Shout out to the writers, because that right there is so layered.
Yeah.
Damn,
So cool.
I need to hit the blunt. I mean, I need to get on the level again, because I just got hyped. I got so hyped, my high got scared. My high was like, shit, I need to get up out of here. That was crazy. Matrix came out in 1999. Huge success. Wow, crazy successful. Taking in more than 463 million worldwide.
Unbelievable.
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 And you know they cleaned up on the DVDs too. This is before streaming, so they cleaned up on the DVDs. It was insane.
Yeah, I did a little research too. This is one of those movies where like opening weekend, nobody saw it coming, exploded at the box office, and then it kind of tanked for a couple weeks. And then
really?
that new surge saw it because like word of mouth, everyone was like, you got to see this. And then it was over.
Because it was a weird concept initially, and until you saw it, you didn't really understand it. So like somebody trying to tell you about it, it's like, man, you got to get out of the system. What the fuck is the system? Like,
Right.
This isn't real. Like, all right, I'm intrigued, but I need to see it for myself. But yeah, word got out. It exploded, man. Like, I feel like it was one of those movies that like I said, it really changed my life, because it really made me question certain things. And that's what made me start to like looking inward for like,
Really?
yeah, like even with like the scene, and this is my favorite scene. We would love to hear y'all favorite scene from this.
Oh, that'd be great.
My favorite scene was probably, because everybody's gonna go with like Neo ducking the bullets or he's stopping the bullets at the end. My favorite scene was the glitch with the cat, the deja vu. Because that was like, anytime you feel deja vu, you're like, man, why am I feeling like this? There's no real explanation for it. You were talking about Plato's allegory.
Yeah, let's
of the
get
cave.
into it. Just like a little backstory on the Matrix, and actually on how life works.
Yeah.
If you want to like see a great example of the allegory of the cave, there is a viral video of a pug licking the shadow of water from a hose, not the water, but the actual shadow of the water. And Plato's allegory basically says that all of these prisoners are shackled to a wall in a cave, and the flames are behind them, so they're backlit, right? So you can see the shadows in front of you,
Yeah.
and so they think the shadows are real because
Right.
it's all they have in front of their face. They think that the voices are the shadows, and the shadows are alive. But obviously, when you escape the cave and you go out into the real world, you see that people are those voices. The
Yeah.
shadow is the dancing of the flame on the wall, not the actual person themselves. And then that person who escaped the cave came back to everyone shackled and said, yo, these shadows aren't real. This isn't the deal. And they're like, yes, it is. It's what's in front of our face. We have to believe this. And that's essentially the Matrix. Are
Right.
you blue-pilled? Is what's right here the truth? Or do you believe that there's more than the shadows?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the crazy part about that, because I love that, right? But imagine coming back with this newfound truth, right? And try to convince these other two people who haven't seen it what you saw. And they knew that somebody came and took you away. They probably think that you're crazy.
Probably.
Right? You're trying to convince me, no, I saw it, the sun, it's people, what we're seeing, that's us. That's just a flame by. They're like, no, you're crazy.
100%.
And you end up going crazy trying to convince them that you weren't crazy from the beginning.
Yeah, man.
Or just educate them.
I'm just going to be real. I'm bipolar. I've had some episodes.
Yeah.
And in those episodes, I'm trying to speak the truth, proselytize to the people around me that none of this is real. Like, we are absolutely in a simulation and you need to break out of it. And if you dream it and visualize it, you can do it. If you go on the CIA.org, there's something called the Gateway Project. And the Gateway Project by the CIA is where you actually learn that you can project and manifest yourself and walk through portals of your own dreams and make them a reality. And then they're like, oh boy, forgot to take his pill. And I'm like, yes, I did.
That was a mouthful. Jesus. You were like a rapper. I can't believe you don't like Jay-Z. That was crazy. You got bars, man. You went off on that one.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
It's just the truth, though, you know? Sometimes, yeah. Anyway.
The visualization and manifestation isn't much different from believing in a God and praying to him to bring you through hard times and stuff like that. Like, with manifestation, it's like, I have more than enough. I have an abundance of friends and outlets of income. It's not much different from faith, but it's so much power in religion.
Dude, I'm nervous about this. The older I get, the more I'm searching for faith, and I'm worried that it's because I'm worried about death. And so I'm looking for something beyond because I feel like my time is going to close at some point, and now I've got to like be like a good kid and get on Santa's good list because like you know what I'm saying? Every dude I talk to, all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, going back to church or whatever, and I'm like, it's because you're worried about dying.
Right. My plan is like right before I take my last breath, I'm like, accept Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior.
He's like, you got it in.
And then another thing is like when people think of these far out ideas for things like the Matrix, I'm like, how the did that come to you? Like, are you just that creative, or did you have a conversation with an alien that could have been the person that created the simulation? Or are they doing this in small batches, giving certain people knowledge about this type of and they try to sell it to the world or tell it to the world to see if we would catch on?
Facts.
It's just like the cave allegory, right?
Yeah.
They give it to a few people. They tell people. Some people have different ways about going about it. Some people go out there and try to preach it. Some people find a creative way to display it in a movie. And it's like
a Rothko painting. Here's an image that like makes you feel some type of way, right?
Yeah. But like the person that just goes out and try to tell people, they be like, oh, you're crazy. But you find a way to give it to people in a way that's easily digestible, like a movie. And it's like, damn, you figured it out.
Yeah.
So
well, okay. So on just like a scientific level, Oxford philosopher Nick Bostrom,
right?
The time is 2003, and he asks himself, could technology achieve human consciousness? Right?
Like, could we get to the point where we could make a civilization, a simulation, or
right?
Something like? Okay,
exactly.
Gotcha.
Like what if let's just say Rudy from the Jetsons. You know, what if she was like a maid, but she was also our god? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's a bad example, but it's a pretty good example. So, like, one of the there's three things that he posits about that theory. One is humans would never be able to reach the level of creating that kind of technology that could have consciousness because we would destroy ourselves first.
I could see that. Absolutely.
I mean, if you think about where we are now in this world, I mean, even if you're watching this 20 years from now, you're probably going to be like, dang, the world stinks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. There's always things going on. There's always wars. It's a beautiful life. And so what that means, it probably would not be true,
right? Because
we would destroy ourselves first.
Yeah.
Ethically, number two would be like the ethics of it, which I have a huge problem with because it seems like even Terminator is now coming true, and we all know that Terminator was like a dog whistle about like technology becoming conscious. So the ethics of it, we would hope that humanity would not ethically follow through with that.
So like we would get to the point where we have the technology to do it, but we would decide against it ethically.
The lizard people would sit underground and be like, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah. Let's just get some more flies, man.
Yeah.
Taking things way too serious. Like flies.
Exactly. Aren't the flies good enough?
Come
Do we really need
on.
robot flies that then are our overlords, you know? Right. So that's the second one.
Okay.
Third one is it happened. and now we're in that consciousness's simulation. We don't even know it. Like we're in a snow globe, essentially.
So it's actually like we are in a simulation. So
Yeah.
one of those three things must be true.
Yes. And the question is, which one do you believe? And the Matrix asks, or I think the Matrix says the third one is true.
Thought this was really interesting in our research. So there's something called multiversal theory and dimensional overlap. So with the multiversal theory is that when we have those deja vu moments, or when we have those memories that just seem like, oh, where the f- did that come from? That is where, we might be getting too close. Like in the multiverse, sometimes the timelines can overlap or they get so close. So in those moments, a timeline could have got close to us and we're getting the memories of the us in that next timeline,
I believe in that.
right?
Hands down believe in
You
that.
believe in that?
Dude, it just makes sense. There's so many of us. We're all swimming in the same streams.
Yes.
Sometimes a rock leads us down a different tributary,
Yeah.
and we become another version of ourselves.
Okay, so that's one. I'm glad that you like that. That's also dimensional overlap, and that's when because we're running parallel, and it could be doing this type of thing, could be waving. When it overlaps, there are things intrudes from our universe that overlaps in that one, and then things from that universe that overlaps in ours. I also want to know, if this was a simulation, right? Why? Like, who would be doing it? Like, is it the machine world? Is it some alien civilization that is just doing this for shits and giggles? Like, they get a kick off of it. Like, this is a situation where if this was an alien civilization that has no concept of time, or their concept of time is way different. Like, what we're living right now it's been...
May I add one more to that you just inspired?
Yes.
And and if this is a simulation, where are cats going half the time? Where are they going?
Cats do just be popping up like they just got off work.
It's wild.
It's like, you been gone for 6 hours. Where the f*** have you been?
Yeah, and what is in that corner?
Right. Like, I've heard no meows either. Like, no purring, no meow. The f*** have you been? Did you just take a smoke break? What are you doing?
Its soul just floated out of its ear and was like, I'll be back.
Yeah. It's very weird. Also, hit that subscribe button and that share button. Do us a favor.
Please, we're trying to get in that algorithm, puff some stuff, click right here, go down that rabbit hole. What are you doing?
That's my happy dance.
Oh, nice.